One of the toughest Pokemon Centers to rebuild in Pokemon Pokopia is the Ridge Pokemon Center. To rebuild this one, you'll firstly need to start by repairing a broken PC next to the center. To do this, you'll want to create a red tall grass habitat and check back later, then talk to the Pokemon who appears for how to create a grassy training field habitat. So to do that, pick up 2 sandbags which are scattered around this region, then place them next to 4 red tall grass patches to make a grassy training field habitat. Check back soon and talk to the Pokemon that appears, and they will lead you to a training area and ask you to pick up 5 pieces of stone in this area to clean it up. Talk to them again when you've done that to learn the strength move. Then use the strength move to move the broken PC back onto its terminal, making it usable again. Now you'll need to raise the environment level to 3 in Rocky Ridges by creating habitats and improving comfort levels for the Pokemon who live here. But now you're going to hear a voice calling from a nearby cave, so head there with the professor to investigate. You will be asked to cut the chain holding up the barrel where somebody seems to be trapped inside. But when you climb the crates and try to cut the chain with the cut move, you'll find that you can't cut it because it's made of metal, so you will need to power up your cut move in order to do this. Now whoever's inside the barrel will teach you the recipe for a basic salad, but to make that you're going to need a cutting board, and to make one of those you will need a Pokemon who lives in a pointy tree shaded rocky tall grass habitat. Head to the farm area up here and use your strength move to push the large boulder close to the pointy tree here. Then use the Leafage move until there are 4 patches of red tall grass nearby, completing the habitat. Come back a bit later to this area and talk to the Pokemon who's appeared here, and they will ask you to make a perch in exchange for the cutting board. So make a perch at a crafting table using a leaf and 2 small logs, and then set it up in their habitat, like that. Talk to the Pokemon again and you will learn the recipe for the cutting board, so head to a crafting table and make one, then place it on a nearby surface and interact with it. Now if you add 2 leaves and press start cooking, you'll create your first meal, simple salad. Eat the simple salad you've just made to power up your Leafage move, then return to the trapped Pokemon and you'll now be taught a recipe for making bread. And to make this, you'll need the help of a Pokemon who can light a bread oven for you. So get ready to make a mossy hot spring habitat using your powered up Leafage move. Head into the caves in this area and hold ZR to use the powered up version of Leafage to create moss on the cave floor near the hot spring water. Now come back a little later and the Pokemon will appear, then they'll ask you to clear a path for them to walk to the ruined Pokemon Center. Just like in the first area of the game, you'll need to add steps and use the water gun move to moisturize the ground on the path back to the Pokemon Center. You may also need to replace rough blocks with smoother ones for the Pokemon to reach their destination safely. When the Pokemon's arrived, you will learn a recipe for a bread oven, so craft one of these using stone, small logs and volcanic ash from the local area, then place the oven nearby. Now get the Pokemon you just helped to follow you to the oven, then add 3 pieces of wheat to the oven to bake a loaf of bread. If you need wheat, you might be able to find some from the farm area. Just be sure to break any blocks stopping the water flow in this area if you need to, so that the crops are watered. Now eat the bread you just baked and you will power up your cut move at last. Next, return to the trapped Pokemon in the barrel, climb up the boxes and hold ZR to use the powered up version of the cut move, slashing through the chain and releasing the Pokemon from the barrel. A little while later, the chef Pokemon will head over to the kitchen area and offer to teach you how to cook a hamburger. But to do that, you're first going to need to make a frying pan. So return to the professor and they will direct you to mine some copper ore in order to make one. And you'll also learn the frying pan recipe in the process. However, in order to make copper ingots for the pan, you will need something to melt the copper ore. But first you'll be asked to talk to this Pokemon who wants you to cut through a metal fence for them using your powered up cut move. Follow them and hold ZR to chop through the fence, opening up more of the volcano for you to explore. You will now need to head into the volcano to find a Pokemon who can help you smelt copper ore using a smelting furnace. Head further into the volcano to find a habitat hint consisting of a smelting furnace, a wheelbarrow and some tools. Fortunately, all 3 items are already here, so you will need to use the strength move to move the wheelbarrow into position near the furnace, then place the tools in the right spot, restoring the habitat. You'll have to come back a bit later for the Pokemon to appear, so in the meantime you might want to explore a bit further to find some crystal gemstones that you can break with the Rock Smash move to get some crystal fragments which you'll need to rebuild the Pokemon Center. In one of the deeper areas of the volcano, you will find another habitat hint next to a superheated boulder. You will need to cool down the boulder using the water gun move, and then use strength to push the boulder so that it's next to the lava pool, restoring another habitat. Next up, head back to the smelter area. It can be tricky to find, so keep an eye out for a tunnel on the left coming out of the lava pool area, and you will see a new Pokemon has appeared who can help you smelt ores. To complete this quest, you will need a total of 27 copper ore and 25 iron ore, so start by putting as much copper ore as you can into the smelter, then head back to the Pokemon Center area. Here you will see this Pokemon misses their friend, so you'll need to create a mossy boulder habitat in order to find them. To do this, head to the cave area and use the powered up Leafage move near a mossy boulder to complete this habitat. Now be sure that your environment level has been raised to 3 for this region. You can do this by creating more habitats and improving the comfort levels of existing habitats by asking Pokemon about their comfort level and then placing objects that they request. For example, if a Pokemon asks for relaxation, you can place a bed nearby or place a set of pinwheels if they ask for a toy. Now when your environment level eventually reaches 3, buy the Pokemon Center building kit from the PC shop for 1000 life coins. Now you will see that you need 25 copper ingots and 25 iron ingots to complete the center this time, and don't forget we also need 2 more copper ingots for the frying pan that we'll need. Now look around the surface area for mineable copper ore blocks, which you can break using the Rock Smash move. This works quite similar to how mining works in Minecraft. Gather up a total of 27 copper ore. Now come back to the mossy boulder habitat you made earlier, and a Pokemon will appear here before asking you to talk to their friend for them. In the process you will also learn the Rollout move, which is incredibly handy for breaking lots of blocks at once, and also for moving around the area super fast at high speeds. Return to this Pokemon's friend and transform yourself with the Rollout move, then talk to them. They will give you an apology, so return to the other Pokemon and let them know. Now roll back to the smelter area and add your 27 pieces of copper ore to the smelter, then ask the Pokemon nearby to help you smelt. Note that it takes a very long time to smelt this many pieces of copper, and there are 25 more pieces of iron to smelt too, so you'll need to allow around 2 hours in total for this process to complete. While this is going on, you will need a Pokemon with the Bulldoze ability, so make a mossy rest spot habitat in the cave area for this by using the powered up Leafage move on the cave floor in an area like this. In the meantime, start gathering the Pokemon you will need and bring them to the materials tray next to the ruined Pokemon Center. Press plus on the Pokemon tab when they're nearby to register them for the building project. While you're waiting for the Bulldoze Pokémon to appear, now would be a good time to make the frying pan, using some of the copper ingots that should now be ready in your smelter. So pick up some copper ingots from the smelter, craft a frying pan at your crafting table, then head back to the chef Pokémon when you've done this, and they will ask you to place the frying pan on a nearby cooking stove. Do so, and you can then add 4 beans when you interact with it to make a simple hamburger steak. Eat the steak you've just made and your Rock Smash move will power up, allowing you to mine iron ore from tougher blocks. Now a Pokemon's going to ask you to investigate the source of a strange noise nearby, so use your powered up Rock Smash move to break through and find this Pokemon who can play any music CDs you may have found. Now you'll want to head back to the mossy rest spot habitat to find a Pokemon with the Bulldoze specialty. Then lead them, along with any other Pokemon you need, to the Pokemon Center's materials tray. You should now have all 8 required Pokemon ready to build. Now for mining iron ore, you can mine iron ore deeper inside the volcano area if you need to. Look for it in the walls and use your powered up Rock Smash move to mine it. You may have also acquired some iron ore from previous areas of the game. Now take your iron ores to the smelter. It's going to be a matter of waiting for your 25 copper ingots to finish smelting, then add those 25 iron ore to the smelter, wait for them to finish, and collect the 25 iron ingots when they are done. Don't forget you need to get the nearby Pokemon to help you out by lighting the smelter for you. Again, this smelting process takes a very long time, so you might need to wait quite a while. It should take around 2 hours in total to smelt everything. When the ingots are all done smelting, take them to the ruined Pokemon Center's materials tray and add them, along with stone and crystal fragments if you haven't already, then press the Start Building button. After waiting until the next real-time day, the Ridge Pokemon Center will be completed at last. That's quite a long process for getting the Ridge Pokemon Center done in Pokemon Pokopia, but hopefully this video helped you out. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thanks for watching!